Yep, it worked. And
All
then
right.
And then Command F5. Oh, wait, you have to Command F5.
And then switch scenes.
And then Option 2. People are going to see my scary looking butt.
Hello, everyone.
There we go.
We are live.
And there.
And what we're going to do is we are going to cover the wonderfulness that is our Prime Minister. I'm going to quickly switch over here. This is Trudeau's COVID address. What we're going to do is we're going to go over this, and then we're going to listen to the speech from the throne.
Out of control and trigger a wave of infections bigger than the first one. Cases could climb to more than 5,000 daily by October. Chief Public Health Officer Theresa Tam says Canada is at a crossroads. We will hear from opposition parties following tonight's...
That's very quiet.
The Prime Minister of Canada.
Good afternoon.
Wow, that's really quiet. I'm going to try and turn this up. Oh, he's starting in French. Awesome. Okay, this is going to give me some chance to... This is going to give me a chance to fix the volume, because he's talking in French right now. A wise man said, poking the... Oh, you ass. Okay, let's...
When we went into lockdown, there were 47 new cases of COVID-19. Yesterday alone, we had well over 1,000.
Oh no.
We're on the brink of a fall that could be much worse than the spring. I know this isn't the news that any of us wanted to hear. And we can't change today's numbers or even tomorrow's. Those were already decided by what we did or didn't do 2 weeks ago.
I'm pausing this really quick, and I'm going to try...
Mute at 40%. Skip ahead to 40% volume. In slide 40% of all 40%.
What's wrong?
The YouTube volume is stupidly quiet.
Ah!
And it begins.
Voiceover off.
We knew that as soon as China set their sights on Hong
It's
Kong,
really, really quiet.
Well, now it's as loud as can possibly be.
Okay.
You know, the two different states.
So there you go.
Thank you.
They were just going to assimilate Hong Kong.
They got to listen to some Count Dankula for a moment.
Why is voiceover not talking?
Chrome busy.
There we go.
Busy. Voiceover on Chrome.
Okay.
Mute. Play.
So, let's go try this again.
Change.
Pause.
We are in October and into the winter.
Oh, that's much better.
It's all too likely we won't be gathering for Thanksgiving. We still have a
Obviously.
shot at Christmas. Together, we have the power to get this second wave under control. I know we can do it because we've already done it once before.
We have?
In the spring, we all did our part by staying home. And this fall, we have even more tools in the toolbox.
We do?
People are wearing masks. That's critical. So keep it up. We've got the COVID Alert app. Take the teacher who felt fine, but who tested positive after the app warned her she'd been exposed. COVID Alert meant she went home instead of the classroom.
Play.
Okay. His voice
Pause.
is really pissing me off. Like, he's talking to... Why? I'm gonna get this out of here. He's talking to us like we are a bunch of fucking children. We are not children. We are adults. Yeah, I know, masks. $392 billion later. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, by the way, guys, you have the option of getting me to drink either this big thing called No Boats on Sundays, apparently, or this can of cider. Which do we start out first, and how much of it do I get to drink at once? That's up to you guys. Streamlabs.com/the link in the description. Let's go.
Play.
It's a powerful, free tool that's easy to use and protects your privacy. So if you haven't already, download it off the App Store or Google Play. It's one more way to keep ourselves and others safe. Another is to get your flu shot this fall. Les gestes qu'on pose aujourd'hui.
Okay, here we go for the okay, so this is I'm gonna let the French play in my ear. Both are cider. Okay. You really, really, really want to get hammered like Cog did? I don't have enough booze to get as hammered as Cog did, but if this is something that you guys would enjoy, well, you know, hey. So let's see here.
I don't buy enough booze for you to get that hammered.
Exactly.
On purpose.
For all of us as Canadians to do our part for our country as government does its part for you.
What have you done for us?
Between government and the people government serves. You need to know that you can rely on us just like you can rely on each other.
Hello, Scribe. I can handle my drink. Well, I have thrown up.
The government presented a plan that rests on 4 foundations to address this crisis.
Oh, goody.
The first thing we must do is protect the health of Canadians. The actions of our parents and our grandparents and World War II remind us that we must be resilient and patient in times of crisis. They build today's world, and now it's up to us to build the world of tomorrow.
The world of tomorrow!
The situation experienced by too many elders in our long-term care homes is unacceptable.
Well, then stop sticking fucking...
In the spring, we sent in the army to assist, and the Red Cross is still on the ground. We will be working right away with the provinces and territories to set new national standards on long-term care.
Job 1 is keeping people safe.
Okay.
That's why we're signing deals on multiple potential vaccines, on therapeutics, on personal protective equipment. In fact, because we mobilized this spring, Canadians are now producing almost every type of PPE we need.
Yes, and nothing of anything else that we need.
Capacity on testing while creating a federal response team for surge demand. And as soon as there's approval for faster tests to be used safely, we'll get them out of...
Okay.
If you need...
Sure you will. Okay, I'm gonna pause this for a second. 'Cause it took until what was it? Yeah, all day yesterday until 5:30 today, when Pink Hollow was finally able to book a fucking COVID test for him and Logan. It was just ridiculous. It took me all day yesterday, as I said last night, calling and calling and calling and calling and calling. Again today, calling and calling and calling. I sent an email I never got a response to. There was a woman with her 5-year-old son at a testing center.
No. It took a fight at one of the testing centers last night for them this morning, and an over fucking population of it, for them to do exactly what I said they should have done in the fucking first place, which is make an app, a web-based app that you can just punch in your info and it gives you a fucking window.
Yep.
And guess what? 3 minutes after the fucking article was dropped, the first time slot was full. I managed to get it on the second time slot within half an hour.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Not that bad.
More like, which way did he go? So.
Need a test, you should be able to get one.
Yes, you should.
This is about safety, and it's about what's right for Canadians. Protecting your health is the best thing we can do for the economy. So that's what we're working on first. And that brings me to the second part of the plan.
Oh, God.
Supporting Canadians through this pandemic. The federal government will have your back, whatever it takes, to help you get through this crisis.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you were one of the almost 9 million people who used the Canada Emergency Response Benefit this spring.
Pause.
Is he good?
Your health is the best thing for our economy, is what he said, right?
Yes.
Okay. That means we need you healthy so we can work, so we can put in the taxes for the 30 years they calculated to pay back the deficit we've already created over the last 9 months.
Also, you have our back. Where's that fucking tax-free disability benefit that we were supposed to get, that disabled Canadians were supposed to get if we were holders of the disability tax credit? Where's that money, Trudeau? Where is it?
Play.
We will continue to support all those who need it with a strengthened and broadened employment insurance system.
Go.
Maybe your boss was able to keep you on the job or hire you back because the emergency wage subsidy helped with the payroll. People still need this program, so we're extending it right through to next summer. Or perhaps you're a business owner needing extra help to bridge to better times. For you, among other measures, we're expanding the Canada Emergency Business Account.
Ugh.
And there's a lot more we're going to do. Go to canada.ca/coronavirus to see what support is available right now and how to apply.
So, again, where is all this money going to come from? And also, why is it that the most needy Canadians are not getting what they need? Why are this is he may as well have a sign that says, I have fucked up so much that all I can do is buy your vote. That is all Trudeau is doing right now. He knows that he can't run on anything to do with his word, his ethics, his anything other than, I will give you more money. That is it. Because right now, he is very close to a vote of no confidence. And it's absolutely, it's disgusting, this blatant. Yeah, if you can't work cheaply for his corporate overlords, you're worthless to him, BP. Yep. Blind, that's what will happen. Just you watch. Yep.
Play.
I know some people are asking how we can afford to do all this for Canadians.
You can't.
That's fair. The low interest rates mean we can afford it. And in fact, doing less would end up costing far more.
Low interest rates help you give us money. What? So did you just admit that the banks are in your pocket? Is that what you just... I think he just admitted that the banks are in the pockets of the federal government. That's just, oh man. Oh my god. You put the naughty no word in the title and now have an information placard. I thought that was done.
Play.
Doing less would mean a slower recovery and bigger deficits in the long run. While we're dealing with this pandemic, I don't want you or your parent or your friend to take on debt that your government can better shoulder. So yes, in the short term, we'll keep investing. But beyond the emergency, as we start to build back better, we must do that in a fiscally and sustainable way.
The budget will balance itself, right, Justin?
Play.
Investing for our recovery must be done responsibly. Vous savez, la pandémie.
You know, the pandemic has laid bare fundamental inequalities in our society.
This is just ridiculous. Okay, guys, pick a cider. Which one do I open? Which one do I open? This one or the can? Pick one, guys. Because this is pissing me off.
By creating a Canada-wide early learning and childcare system, we'll ensure that kids have access to care and that no parent, especially no mother, has to put their career on hold. This pandemic has reminded us all that building strong social supports is essential to growing the economy. By accelerating progress on national universal pharmacare, we'll get people the medicine they need while alleviating pressure on the healthcare system.
We can't. Really? National Universal Health? Yay, British social fucking medicine. No thank you. We don't need pharmacare. We don't need pharmacare. The big one. Okay, Gunfox votes for the big one. Now watch this be not a twist top. It's not a fucking twist top. Is it? Is it a twist top? It's not a twist top. God damn it. And I don't have my bottle opener down here. Taking over Alberta doesn't count.
By investing to eliminate chronic homelessness, we will create communities that are healthy and more prosperous.
Are you going to build more community housing so that their wait lists are not frickin'... How do you plan on nationalizing community housing?
No boats on Sunday. Hopped cider. Citron au blanc. No Boats on Sunday pays homage to a time in Halifax when hard-working locals restricted boat traffic on Sundays. This was their way to enjoy time with family and friends. We believe in the importance of being present in the moment and truly experiencing the things we love most. Our locally sourced apples are freshly pressed and crafted for you to enjoy a balanced, flavorful and crisp hopped cider.
Is this the...
We enjoy you to put your work down and enjoy.
Or make the Justin Trudeau stuff more bearable.
You know the really funny part about this is?
What?
It's from Nova Scotia, right?
Right.
But it's Ontario hopped cider.
Ha! All right then.
Play.
I can't smell it. I got no sense of smell.
It's also a solution. It creates jobs. It
might like
allows
that.
people to
refreshing.
thrive and contribute. We all want to build a stronger country for everyone. To do that, though, we must redouble
nice.
efforts
Here,
to
quick.
fight
Let's just show
climate change. That is also the best way to ensure there are good jobs for today and for tomorrow.
Again, are you gonna are you gonna? So you're gonna nationalize community housing.
Which technically should still be the responsibility of municipalities.
Yes, it should. And you're gonna give us magic new jobs somewhere. The money for housing will be used to buy votes. Yeah. Yeah.
To decarbonize. Auto workers building zero-emission vehicles. Engineers and construction workers delivering green retrofits for our homes and buildings.
That are stupidly expensive.
These are some of the people who will create a competitive economy of the future. As we do this work, protecting people's health, supporting Canadians, building back better, we can't forget what it's all for.
He's said that multiple times. Building back better. That's kind of a weird way to put things.
Pause. Next. Shift. Play. K. Button. Play. K. 11-minute play. K.
What the hell?
11 minutes 59 seconds of 21 minutes 49.
What the
Channel
hell?
watermark image.
What happened?
Subscribe. CBC News. Channel watermark. YouTube video player. Compliment main.
What is going on?
Bit complimentary. YouTube video channel watermark CBC. Subscribe to 11 minutes 59 play. K. Press click.
There we go.
Everyone
Pause. K.
participate to their full potential. And that's the final part of the plan. As a country, we must keep making progress on reconciliation with Indigenous peoples and on fighting systemic racism.
Pause.
What the fuck does COVID-19 have to do with systemic racism? Why? Why? I don't... Does the virus give a shit whether we reconcile our past? I don't think so. How about you worry about that later? Oh my god. Just fuck.
Press pause.
Diversity is not just our strength,
Pause. K.
it's our competitive edge. Nos différences nous enrichissent.
Our
Quelle que
differences
soit la
enrich
couleur.
us.
Diversity is our competitive edge, is it?
Our culture or our language. In our country, we are proud to have two official languages, French and English, that we will continue to protect. In Canada, we know that we are stronger when we're united and when we help each other. We face the challenges together, and that is what has helped us to manage the crisis better than many others.
This is not the first time our country has been called to stand united and strong. In the face of change, our greatest generation showed us that overcoming crisis isn't easy. They didn't give up, and neither can we. To parents feeling like you can't get your life under control, to kids wondering why mom and dad can't just fix this, to seniors feeling like there's nothing you can do and thinking about all the things you can't do. That's understandable. But can't will not define us. We can bend the curve. We can build a stronger future.
This is...
We can define the change.
You are not our parent. You are our leader. Be one. Nationalized housing and healthcare. What could possibly go wrong, Mrs. Gunfox? Oh, man. This is crazy.
Play.
Les Canadiens, on est des gens qui disent
We Canadians are people that say, I can do it. In every sector, in every corner of this country, every single one of us are doing our part. The story of this pandemic is the story of people making sacrifices, people who work hard every day to be there for each other. And it's especially the story of our frontline workers, heroes, right across this country who never hesitated, who have always faced every challenge head on. You are a source of inspiration for all of us.
Why? Because they're doing their job? I mean, I hate to cheapen that, but I mean, if your job is that you are an essential worker, then that's your job. Like, I don't get it.
Press pause K.
We are at a crossroads, and the
Pause
future
K.
is in our hands.
There are many days to go before we get to the other side of this. But there are also many of us to get us there, so long as we each remember to do our part. And I know that we will. We are Canadians, and together,
You don't know what that means, you...
prenez soin de vous, mes amis.
Take care of yourselves, friends. Thank you.
You don't know what it means to be a Canadian. You really don't, sir.
And that is the Prime Minister of Canada speaking to all of you directly
This
to Canadians
this makes
tonight.
me
It was an
really
address that he
angry.
requested across
What do you guys... Would you guys like to hear the speech from the throne as well? At this point, you would be better off living on the American Empire's gold glory. Never! Never! Oh! This is the leader of the Conservative Party. This is what he has to
I'm
say.
Aaron O'Toole, leader of the official opposition and of Canada's Conservatives. As many of you know, my wife Rebecca and I have COVID-19. We have been isolating here at home, like thousands of Canadians have throughout this pandemic. But it was important for me to find a way to safely connect with Canadians tonight.
I didn't know he
The
had
situation
COVID.
facing my family shows that we must remain extremely vigilant in our battle against the spread of COVID-19. Please be mindful of that in the weeks ahead. We must also be very vigilant for the future of our country. After 4 years of Mr. Trudeau, our country is more divided, less prosperous, and less respected on the world stage. Across this country, millions of Canadians have lost their jobs. Many fear losing their homes, and too many have lost hope.
Yep.
Mr. Trudeau says we're all in this together, but Canada has never been more divided. Après 4 ans de M. Trudeau, on a une crise d'unité dans l'Ouest et dans l'Est. Ce discours de
And the
trône
East.
vient de démontrer
This throne speech has just shown that it will be even worse in future. When Mr. Trudeau doesn't
Are
understand
there...
the real needs of Canadians,
Oh, yes, there are those pithy signs,
with
Costin.
a very high level of unemployment, we need jobs for Canadians, not fine words.
I will not learn the national anthem unless I get paid.
Their family. I believe we need to build back stronger as a country. We must be more resilient and self-reliant for the future. The pandemic showed we can only count on ourselves in a crisis. We need to be more nimble and community-focused. We need to be working together to support one another and protect the vulnerable. When I spoke with Mr. Trudeau last week, I asked him to ensure that Canadians had better and faster access to COVID testing options. It is unacceptable that we trust countries like Japan, Germany, and the US with our national security intelligence.
Yes, it is.
But don't trust their approval of 15-minute saliva tests.
Yep.
In March, the Prime Minister promised that rapid testing for Canadians would be his top priority. Half a year and $500 billion later, Canadian families are lined up for hours for tests because the Prime Minister failed to deliver.
$500 billion. $500 billion.
Also asked the Prime Minister to offer solutions to Western alienation. We must show our fellow Canadians that we value them and respect their contributions to our country. Resource revenues contribute to building of roads and hospitals in every corner of this great country, not just in the provinces where the resources are found.
Yep.
Our country was built on exploration, hard work, and perseverance, And these character traits are even more important today as we rebuild. I also asked the Prime Minister to outline practical help for small businesses.
Yeah.
COVID-19 has been devastating to small businesses, especially family-owned businesses.
Yes, it has.
La pandémie continue
The
de
pandemic
dévaster les PME à
continues to
travers tout le
devastate
pays.
small businesses right across the country. A number of businesses have not received assistance to pay their rent.
Very
They
true.
need our help. After 4 years, it's just the status quo.
I'll send
Small
you a
business
US flag.
deserves our support and our respect because they contribute to our economy and create jobs for Canadians. It's unfair to forget them.
Canada's foreign policy must be built on our interests and values. I believe in free trade, but I also believe in fair trade where countries follow the rules.
For you to fly higher than ever to show off that the American Empire owns Canada.
High price for trade with communist China. The price has been too high for Canadian access to safe, reliable.
Oh, damn, he actually said communist China. Wow.
Press
In a pandemic, the price
Press
is
K.
also too high for many Canadian workers. We must open up new, dependable markets in the Indo-Pacific and work with our allies to rebalance global trade. We will show the Communist Party in Beijing that we are a proud trading nation, but that the one thing not for sale is our values. So my first big speech as Conservative leader was at 1:30 in the morning, and now my second is from my front porch while I'm recovering from COVID. This was not the first month I had planned. As I told my team 2 weeks ago, through adversity to the stars. Canadian families, whether mine or yours, will get through everything. We must do so together with our shared faith in the true north, strong and free.
This guy, I have actually never heard him speak before. Aaron O'Toole. He was just elected as the leader to replace Andrew Scheer of the Conservative Party of Canada. And I have to say, I really think that he is a good speaker. He speaks like a leader. He replaced Pugsley Adams, as Pinkalo calls him. China does own Canada at the moment. You're not wrong, Gunfox. I'm starting to like this O'Toole, says Costin. I know. I've actually never heard him speak before, and he's very well spoken. He's very coherent, very down to earth. I really appreciate that. I really like that about him. Let's see. Does Jagmeet Singh have to say anything?
Press K.
And that's the leader of the official opposition in the Conservative Party, Aaron O'Toole, making reference to the fact that he became leader just a month ago. And yes, he and his wife have tested positive for COVID-19, and they are self-isolating at their home. It was a staff member from Mr. O'Toole's office that set up that camera, Mr. O'Toole that hit record, and the staffer kept quiet and safe inside his car. Here's the bloc leader now, Yves-François Blanchet. He's speaking from Shawinigan.
Huh. What do you have to say?
Chers amis québécoises et québécois,
Dear Quebecer friends,
across Canadian provinces, sœurs et frères francophones.
Sisters and
Francophone
brothers.
brothers and sisters, after proroguing Parliament, Justin Trudeau had the representative of the British Crown a throne speech that was intended to remove.
Oh my god, chick. Do you speak French at all? Holy shit.
Press K.
Of COVID-19, and yet very much is in here. Quebecers and Canadians have to adjust all of their actions to the serious health crisis that is upsetting things. Infrastructure work, creation of green wealth, support for the media, and of course support for
Support for the media? Fuck the media.
robust healthcare system. Healthcare is Quebec's exclusive responsibility. That is where Quebecers place their confidence.
Healthcare is what? Healthcare is Quebec's sole responsibility? What? I'm confused. This is weird.
Press pause.
Mr. Trudeau did not
Pause K.
hear the request from all the provinces for an immediate, unconditional, and sustainable increase in healthcare transfers. He comes back with his obsession to interfere in Quebec's jurisdiction and tell it how it should spend money and impose national standards.
Yes, dear, because it's a federal government and you are a province. You are not your own country. Go fuck yourself.
Pause K.
Want to ensure there is support for people. The government of Mr. Trudeau is reserving its support, however, for people who are over the age of 75. If you're between the age of 65 and 75, Mr. Trudeau doesn't have a cent for you. He promised a green recovery plan, but the throne speech contains nothing of the sort. We find some vague promises that
Healthcare. No, I understand. I understand that it's a provincial responsibility, but the way that he said it, it was that it made it sound like that's the only responsibility they have. I understand that he's speaking French and this woman is woefully bad at translating him, but it just doesn't, it just didn't ring right.
Press
what we heard in
Pause
2019.
K.
Given the colossal debt that he has imposed on Canada, parliamentarians will be called on to vote soon on a real budget. The Bloc agrees that this is an affront to the jurisdiction of the National Assembly of Quebec and does not warrant the support of Quebec. Mr. Trudeau has 1 week to provide unconditional transfers to Quebec for healthcare. Otherwise, the Bloc Québécois will vote against this throne speech. So in the face of adversity, let us continue to be brave and confident about our future. Thank you.
So, Trudeau and Blanchette are playing politics with coronavirus. Awesome.
For COVID-19. We'll, of course, analyze and fact-check all of these comments as
No,
soon
you
as we
won't.
hear from the NDP leader, Jagmeet Singh. But now we know that the Conservative Party and the Bloc Québécois are not happy with the throne speech as laid out today and do not intend to support it unless, the Bloc leader says, there can be an unconditional transfer of money for healthcare to Quebec. All right, now let's hear from NDP leader Jagmeet Singh responding to the Prime Minister tonight.
Jagmeet.
Period.
Did she call him Jagmeet Singh?
I know that you're worried. I know that you're worried about your kids going to school. I know you're worried about paying the bills. I know you're worried about your jobs. I know you're worried about your loved ones and our elders in long-term care homes. I know you're seeing the numbers rising and you're worried about a second wave. I want you to know that like we've done throughout this pandemic, we see you, we hear you, and we're going to keep fighting for you. Je sais que vous avez des grandes inquiétudes.
I know that you're worried, and as we've done before, I can assure you that we will continue to fight for you.
I know that COVID-19
Almost as bad as
exposed a lot of
Jughead, yeah.
problems. But these aren't new problems. A lot of them existed before the pandemic. And Justin Trudeau has been in power before with a majority government and hasn't made these things better. With healthcare, we knew that our healthcare system wasn't there for people when they needed. And we needed to do better with universal pharmacare and dental care. Well, Justin Trudeau just promised again to do it, but he's had 6 years to deliver something.
Yeah,
he has
this
not done.
is...
We know that we need to do better to take care of each other. A better social security, social safety net. And it's
Yes,
not good enough to just
throw
say
money at
words,
it. It'll
but
make it
actually
go away.
See the actions. I know people need childcare
And COVID-19 has impacted women disproportionately, and we need to invest in a recovery that actually supports childcare that's universal.
You can't have any child care when a virus is running rampant, whether it's universal or not. If shit gets shut down, it won't matter. What are you going to do to help the virus problem? Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Why is it that Aaron O'Toole is the only person who didn't, like, of course he made it political because they're politicians. But out of the four of them, sorry. Trudeau, Blanchette, O'Toole, and Singh. 3 out of the 4 of them are just... This is campaigning. They're campaigning. Because they know Trudeau is done. They're all campaign. O'Toole knows it, but he's at least smart enough not to sound like he's on the campaign trail right now. This is sad.
Press pause. K.
I know that you're very concerned about the climate crisis. We must address it and win this battle.
And we need to be serious about tackling it and create jobs while we make investments. And I know people are worried about how we're going to pay for all of this. I know it's not your fault, workers that have lost their jobs, small businesses that are struggling, you shouldn't have to pay for this pandemic. Those who profited off the pandemic should be paying the price.
You hear that, honey? You hear that? You should be paying for the you profiteer, you.
Press pause K.
Let's say it clearly, we need a wealth tax. The wealthy must pay their fair share, those at the very top. And I want you to know, since the beginning of this pandemic, when we saw people were being excluded, when people were being missed out, we fought for you. When we saw students were missed out entirely, we fought for students. We fought for people living on disabilities.
Press pause.
Really?
Play.
None of the federal parties fought for people who are on disability. Know how I know? Because we're one of the only groups of people who didn't get a tax credit.
Press pause K.
Seniors, we fought to make sure people got the help they need. And I know that we need to continue to fight. I want you to know that moving forward, we're going to continue to fight to make sure you get the help you need. We're going to be there for you. Thank you so much for supporting New Democrats. Because New Democrats were elected by you, we were there to fight for you when you needed it. Comme on a déjà fait.
As we've done before, I can assure you once again that we will be there
Platitudes,
to fight for you.
platitudes, platitudes,
Canadians have shown that
platitudes.
we take care of each other, we all rise. Thank you.
That's it. That's all it was.
And that's NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, who said earlier in
She
the day
did
that
call
he
him
has a couple
Jagmeet Singh.
conditions he will need to see met in order for him to consider giving his support to the government when it comes time to vote on this throne speech. A reminder that the government only needs one dancing partner in order to survive and avoid an election. It's pretty clear that the Conservatives and the Bloc Québécois tonight have laid down some markers, and the Conservatives not interested in supporting this at all, perhaps to surprise of no one. Let's bring in now for some analysis the host of Power and Politics, Vashi Capellas.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to quickly move on to something else. Because I know Costin was interested in what I had to say about this. I'm going to look up the speech from the throne. So I'm going to open up the speech from the throne. And we're going to, when we're going to play this, how long is it? 3 minutes, 3 seconds of, oh, Jesus. We're going to open this up a little bit. Let's put this to settings. Playback speed. We're going to put it to 1.5 times. Okay. So, this is... I'm not happy. It's 3 hours. We're not doing the whole thing. Yeah, that's what they want is total power. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you that most of this was news analysis. I don't think the entire speech is 3 hours. I really don't. I think that... Because usually Trudeau speaks for maybe half an hour. And the rest of it is bootlicking by the media, basically. So I bet you that that is what makes it a 3 hour long stream, is all of the fun analysis. Let's see. Why is this so quiet? There's like silence right now. Let's go to the playback speed. There we go. Oh, look, an ad. Thank you for the ad. You shouldn't be... You know what? They shouldn't allow advertisements on speeches from public figures. All right. Where is this stupid thing here? I'm tired of the ads, is what I'm tired of. That's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of the ads. Where is the fucking skip ad button? Holy crap. Are you gonna make me watch?
Have you bought your YouTube subscription yet?
Because I don't want to spend $13 a month.
Oh, okay. Can't skip it?
No.
It's Skippy. I'll skip it.
Our Sunny system. Oh my god.
That's because it's Sunny Darcy, who looks like she... I don't know what kind of skincare system she's using, but she should stop. It's called acid, and it's not good for you, girl. Okay, bye. Okay, I'll be right back. People don't want to see my boobs. They're not paying for my boobs, they're paying for your boobs.
They're paying for your boobs, not...
Scooch.
Scooch.
Scoots. Scootsy.
Good, I can have something to
Did they
smoke.
seriously make people wait for like 3 hours? Okay, we got highlights. Justin Trudeau arrives.
Oh my god. See, guys?
Holy fuck.
I told you it's not a 3 hour speech.
Holy fuck, I'm at 2:10. Oh, there's Crazy Lady. God, she looks creepy. I'm sorry, Your Holiness, but is it Holiness? What do they call? What do we call her? Her Eminence.
Excellency.
I'm not calling her excellent. She looks like I miss David. David was much more prestigious.
Yeah, and
And he didn't look like a thumb. She looks like a trans... Never mind.
We are a little bit behind time. So the GG's in her place. Everyone's saying that he's running behind time.
Nope, nope, nope. Oh, here she is with her mask. Look, there's the soldiers marching in. By the way, in Canada, they march like this. It's fucking weird.
So just quickly to our strategists again, before we hear the speech, final bet.
I like the way Lisa LaFlamme sounds now. She sounds much better, much younger, much more vibrant.
Well, this is certainly not the visual the government wants. I think they'll see.
I know, right?
Mr. Trudeau said everything to say tonight. So the Governor General is not giving out the on the way forward. I expect to see a few details and a less grand vision than we were originally thought. Okay, Kievash.
I'm hoping to see some real results for ordinary Canadians as we're heading into the second wave.
I pay
extension, access to sick leave for everybody. So
$95 US a month.
These are the things that we really need to do in order to.
Yeah, that would be about
Right,
13.
and final bets to you, Greg, about what you think you're going to see in the speech there, what you'd like to see.
Some foundations around health and safety of Canadians, also a path back to economic security, and then perhaps some big things.
Makes me wish I was streaming again.
Right before, and a chance for the Prime Minister to articulate his vision about what he thinks Canada's going to look like in the coming years.
Thank you to our strategists. We'll be checking in with them after we hear from the speech as well with their reaction.
Hurry up!
Begin any moment now, as you can see there, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He looks pleased with.
Breathe it in, not choke on it. Oh, that was pot.
One that the government has had to carefully craft, and as you can see, those are members of Parliament who we're looking at right now.
No,
I can
he wishes
see
Ren
Candace
was
Bergen, who is
streaming
the
again.
deputy leader
Oh.
of the
Because
Conservative
Ren
Party.
used to
I
do
believe
boobies on the
it is
air.
Gerald Deltel next to him. Can't make out anyone else from behind the masks at this distance just yet. It is one of the challenges as we try to identify who's there, but those will be MPs from all parties represented. Just a small number of them who will be going in to hear this speech today, expected to begin in just a few moments as this goes forward. And as we've been
Just a few
hearing,
moments,
we're
huh?
also expecting a highly unusual address to the nation tonight from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. We don't know quite what that will be about yet, but I am told to expect that it will be an urgent or emergent tone, that it has to do with the COVID-19 pandemic and the government's approach to it. The government will likely be framing this, and I think you'll see some of the throne speech framed as being at a crossroads. Whether or not the opposition agrees with that position, we shall see. Here comes the procession.
Send in the clowns. Those laffy, daffy clowns.
Now, this just arrived. Thank you to Greg McEachran, who's passed it to me, on the notice paper at the House of Commons, which tells us what the House of Commons will be doing. At 2 p.m., this has gone up. The Minister of Employment, Workforce Development, and Disability Inclusion has introduced a bill, an act relating to economic recovery in response to COVID-19. So whatever is in this speech, they've already introduced a bill that will start to implement those measures, and we'll get a look at
Believe
what
it when I see it.
is in that bill. We'll have a sense of that here. This could be the changes to employment insurance. It could be the extension of the CERB or the creation of a new CERB, and any other measures related to economic recovery. Business could be in there. So this will be very interesting to see, but the government's certainly not wasting any time with introducing that bill. Here is the usher of the Black Rod entering the Senate.
The usher of the Black Rod. And yes, he is literally holding a black staff.
Yeah, so that first bill, that the Minister of Employment, Workforce Development, that's Carla Qualtrough, the MP from Delta, BC, and that is the bill that...
I wish that I could...
There's a new benefit for caregivers.
So,
Again, this was something the government already announced.
Streamlabs OBS for Mac doesn't quite have the ability to capture browser yet.
Retroactively, you can get it for a maximum of 26 weeks. There's also a sick leave benefit. So if you're
Okay, David, I'm going to jump in there for just a moment because I can see the Governor General holding her speech. Sorry about that, but good to know. This is, so far from what we know, not new. It is what the government announced. Here we go with the speech to the throne. Governor General Julie Payette opening it to begin the speech.
Honourable Senators, members of the House of Commons, fellow Canadians, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs. Chaque jour, des millions de gens sur la
Every
planète
day, millions of people on the planet are faced with despair, whether they're natural disasters, conflict,
Oh my god.
inequalities. However, humanity has never faced a single enemy, an insidious enemy that respects no borders and spreads everywhere and can strike at any time.
Whatever speech she said, she sounds like a South Park character.
That is a robot.
Of every community and of every one of us. We don't decide when hardship comes, but here in Canada,
No,
we have
listen.
decided how we wanted to address it.
When she starts speaking French, there's another thing.
Nous, les Canadiens, avons fait notre part.
Canadians
Nous avons
have
changé
done
nos
our level
habitudes.
best. We have changed our habits,
Nous sommes pas
I got news for you. That was her English.
and began working
Oh, I know.
from home, or restructured our work all the while looking after each other. We are immensely
This
thankful
is-
towards essential workers, healthcare workers,
Why is
and
William
all
Shatner
individuals on the front line,
translating in French
for
as a woman?
volunteers,
I don't
leaders
know,
across the country.
but it's off-putting.
And we all mourn those
Very off-putting.
We trust science to lead the fight until a safe and effective vaccine becomes available. But until then, we must keep our guards up, using the tools that are available to us now, such as testing, treatments, and physical distancing measures. Like a reed in high winds, we may sway, but we will not break. Because
You
our
are a
roots firmly in
terrible
place, our goals
speaker.
are clear, and because we have hope. The hope that lifts the soul on dark days and keeps us focused on the future.
Good lord.
Canadians have faced uncertainty in the past and have always shown that looking after each other, courage, and common sense
We
define
must
our
bring all
nation.
those qualities to bear once again, and continue to work for the common good, and for a better, safer, and more just society. This is who we are, and what will see us through to brighter days. For
What?
over 150 years, parliamentarians
Why are
Most
have worked
grim
together to
speech
chart Canada's
opener
path
I've
forward.
heard in a long
Your
fucking time.
predecessors
Yeah.
met when Confederation was only a few months old, setting the course for a young country. They stood united through Canada's toughest days, leading the nation through wars and depression. And as they did, each parliamentarian was called to meet their times. Today, Canadians expect you to do the same. They expect you to work together on their behalf and meet this crucial moment. Less than a year ago, we gathered here for a throne speech to open the 43rd Parliament. Since then, our realities have changed, and so must our approach. Over 9,000 Canadians have died in 6 months. For our neighbors in the United States, this figure is over 200,000. Globally, it's nearly 1 million. But these are not just numbers. These are friends and family, neighbors and colleagues. The pandemic is a story of parents who have died alone, without loved ones to hold their hands. It is a story of kids who have gone months without seeing friends, of workers who have lost their jobs. Les six
Yes.
événements ont dévoilé les lacunes
The
fondamentales
last
de notre
6
société.
months have
et celles
shown
des sociétés du
cracks
monde.
in our society as elsewhere. This pandemic has been
Pour ceux
difficult
dont
on
la
everyone.
situation est déjà difficile,
But for those for who are already facing hardship, the burden is heaviest for parents and mothers, more specifically, that have faced difficult decisions between careers and children, for racialized Canadians and Indigenous.
Yeah, just mothers. There's no burden for the fathers at all. None whatsoever. There's no burden for the small business owner with a family, with a stay-at-home wife who's also looking after the kids. There's no worry for the father who is the sole income earner because his wife may perhaps be on disability for some reason. And if you earn too much money, you get kicked off disability and then lose your freaking insurance and all that shit. There's no more or no worries at all for fathers. This is ridiculous.
Individuals who face systematic problems and youth who worry about the future, the elderly who are most exposed to risk, and for those workers who earn the lowest wages and are the most precarious, are on the front lines. We must address these issues without forgetting the future. The world entered this pandemic facing climate change and its risks. A lesson COVID-19 has taught us is that we must meet these challenges with determination on all these fronts: healthcare, economy, equality, and the environment. We must act bravely. The government will do so.
So you're just a puppet for Trudeau. You just reiterate everything that Trudeau says. What the? You're supposed to be the stopgap. You're not supposed to be his parrot. Oh my God.
The government's approach will have 4 foundations. The first foundation of this plan is to fight the pandemic and save lives. The second foundation of the government's plan is supporting people and businesses through this crisis as long as it lasts, whatever it takes. Effectively dealing with the health crisis is the best thing we can do for the economy. Government action has already helped Canadians stay safe and buffered the worst economic impacts. The third foundation is to build back better to create a stronger, more resilient Canada. To do this, we must keep strengthening the middle class and helping people working hard to join in, and continue creating jobs and building long-term competitiveness with clean growth.
This is This is Trudeau speaking. This is not... What the fuck? What is... I thought the Governor General was supposed to be nonpartisan. This is terrifying.
We must also keep building safer communities for everyone. The fourth and final foundation of this plan is to stand up for who we are as Canadians. We cannot forget what has made us a country that is welcoming, a country that celebrates 2 official languages, that achieves progress on gender equality, walks the road of reconciliation, and fights discrimination of every kind.
Why not just change your job title to Liberal Party's PR person? Holy shit.
Hey, Costin's correcting you on something. He's reminded me as well. He's pretty sure the throne speech is written.
The throne speech is written by Trudeau. I thought
pretty sure it was written by Trudeau and presented by the GG because it's the speech from the throne.
I thought that the Governor General was supposed to, like, speak first, and then Trudeau was supposed to deliver his plan.
You remember the Nichelle Nichols thing?
The Nichelle Nichols?
What was her name? Nichelle... She gave her throne speech, and it was the one Harper wrote. Everyone knew it, and I remember that.
Okay, I stand corrected. But this is still really... Ugh.
And yes, I call our former GG Nichelle Nichols because I can't remember what her last name is.
Michael Jean?
This is our generation's crossroads. Do we move Canada forward, or let people be left behind? Do we come out of this stronger, or paper over the cracks that the crisis has exposed? This is the time to remember who we are as Canadians. This is the opportunity to contain the global crisis and build back better together. The first foundation of the government's approach is protecting Canadians from Covid-19. This is priority number 1. It is the job of the federal government to look out for all Canadians, and especially for our most vulnerable. We need to work together because beating this virus is a Team Canada effort. Over the last 6 months, Canadians have stood united and strong. Their actions embody what has always been the purpose of the federal government, bringing Canadians together to achieve common goals.
What demographic of Canadians have you been speaking to where yes, we are united and strong against you, Trudeau?
Personal protective equipment has been shipped across the country. Members of the Canadian Forces were there in long-term care homes. Close to 9 million Canadians were helped with the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, and over 3.5 million jobs were supported by the wage subsidy. The government will continue to have people's backs, just like Canadians have each other's backs. Through the first wave, contact tracing and testing ramped up across the country. The surge this fall further reinforces what we already know, that we must do even more. The federal government will be there to help the provinces increase their testing capacity.
Really? When? When is that going to happen?
Should not be waiting in line for hours to get a test. Du même coup, le gouvernement examine toutes les technologies et toutes les options permettant d'offrir des tests plus rapides aux Canadiens d'un océan à l'autre.
Options to help Canadians from coast to coast. Once it is approved, the Canada government will do everything to implement these solutions, as well as intervention for screening, to meet quickly the urgent needs in that respect, especially in remote and Indigenous communities. Local public health authorities are at the core of the efforts our country is deploying to fight outbreaks before they propagate. We are also mindful of the devastating economic impacts of the pandemic. In order to avoid outbreaks that extending further, communities may have to impose appropriate measures. In order to facilitate the task of public health authorities and reduce the impact of science-based decisions on local enterprises, the government will endeavor to provide additional financial assistance if companies have to close their doors temporarily because of government decisions. Such a measure will allow decisions to be made by placing the health of Canadians at the top of the list of priorities. The government will also continue to respond to all
This is the worst
To that end, the government has already invested over $19 billion
broadcast thing ever.
of accord with the provinces and territories in order to contribute to all efforts to reinforce health network capacities, including personal protection equipment. To remedy the difficulties encountered by provinces and territories during the back-to-school period, the federal government has invested billions of dollars in safe back-to-school programs, as well as additional funding for First Nations communities. Those funds will be used to ensure the safety of children and staff in classrooms, whether it be by helping schools purchase cleaning products or update their ventilation systems.
These commitments build on federal investment to support people who are most at risk and those who care for them, including with a federal wage top-up for personal support workers. People on the front lines who have been looking after seniors do vital work, and the government will continue to have their backs. At the same time, the government will continue to support Canadians as they take action to keep each other safe.
How?
Les gens font déjà leur part en portant un masque.
People are already doing their part by wearing a mask. And that is how we can further this effort in collaboration with private sector partners. The federal government has designed the COVID Alert app. People in Ontario, Newfoundland and Labrador, Brunswick and Saskatchewan now have an additional tool to ensure their own safety and that of others. The government hopes that these tools will help shorten the pandemic so that everyone can do their part and be better protected. The government will continue trying to provide for personal protection equipment for Canadians as needed. The government.
Sorry, guys, this is their recording.
In many businesses, workers join their efforts, and Canadian companies, in less than 6 months, started all types of equipment.
Wow.
Continue reinforcing that capacity by securing jobs. Supply chain. Canadians are mobilizing, whether it be by manufacturing equipment,
This is
using
sad.
or by wearing a mask. Researchers and scientists in Canada are putting their expertise at the service of efforts against the pandemic.
Is it worth skipping?
Yeah.
The best way.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not gonna make you listen to that. That's awful. When me with my frickin' snowball and my webcam that cost all of $200 in total can make a better broadcast than that. That's sad. That's very sad. But yeah, my ending thoughts on this. This feels like Trudeau is just trying to buy votes. It feels like he knows that he has no chance. So his only option at this point is to buy votes. And that's where he's at right now. He's gotten so many ethics issues going. We've gotten so many ethics violations that he knows he's got nothing else to go on except here, I'll give you guys more money, just please God don't vote for the other guy. That's basically what this is. This is Trudeau's last chance, I think. And judging from the reaction of Aaron O'Toole and Francois Blanchette, we're gonna be looking at an election. And you can tell that even Jagmeet Singh thinks that, because they were treating this like a campaign speech. O'Toole had the sense not to sound too much like he was on the campaign trail, but the rest of them, they know that Trudeau is done. Now, whether or not the people of Canada have their heads out of their asses enough to vote for someone who won't turn us into a communist nation is to be seen. But I think that Trudeau is done. I think this is his last hurrah. And basically on that note, my friends, I wanted to cover this for you guys, just to give you guys an insight into our own politics that were going on. Because I know there's a lot of American politics happening. So I figured I'd bring some Canadian politics to you guys. I can't find anything about the National Child Care Plan. I didn't get that far into the throne speech because it was so choppy that I just had to turn it off. I will do some digging into it though, Costin, if that's something you'd like me to talk about. I can do some digging into that. What I will do, I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow. I know Pink Hollow and Logan have their COVID tests tomorrow morning, and I'm pretty sure that the oldest one will be going to school. So I don't think I'll be doing a coffee stream tomorrow, just because that's not the scheduled day for a coffee stream. But I may game, just for some fun. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I do hope you enjoyed yourselves. Looks like hopefully the coffee stream should be starting up next week if we can get the results of the COVID test back in fairly short order. And on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to catch the Lords of the Night tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and Minions of the Zoo after that at 11:30 p.m. Eastern.